Hi everyone, my name is Fauziah Yusof and I am presenting on behalf of my team members Haslizawaty, Abdul Halim, Nisrin, Ishak and Nurul, Nabila, Rasul. Our research is titled Perceived Organizational Support and Employee Motivations Evident from the Retail Sectors in Kuala Lumpur. We represent Universiti Polytechnic Malaysia, and in this session I will walk you through the background, methodology, finding and practical implications of our study. Let's start with the research problem and context. The Malaysia's retail sector continues to face persistent workforce challenges, including high employee turnover, low job satisfaction, and difficulties in sustaining long-term motivations. Despite these ongoing issues, there is still limited research on how perceived organizational support, or POS, influence employees' motivations in Malaysia's unique cultural and retail context. This is especially important because retail work is customer focused, emotionally demanding, and often stressful. By exploring this relationship, our study provides valuable insight that are useful for both academic and practitioner. Our study was guided by three main objectives. The first objective was to examine the current level of employees' motivations among retail employees in Kuala Lumpur. The second objective was to assess how employees perceive the support they receive from their organizations. The third objective was to analyze the relationship between perceived organizational support and employee motivation. Based on this objective, our hypothesis was that there is a significant positive relationship between perceived organizational support and employee motivations among retail employees. To guide our research, we apply Herzberg two-factor theory. This theory distinguishes between two sets of factors that affect employees at work. The first set is called hygiene factors, which include pay, job, security, and working condition. When these factors are absent, employees feel dissatisfied, but when they are present, they do not necessarily increase motivation. The second set is called motivators, which are intrinsic factors such as achievement, recognition, and meaningful works. These are the elements that directly increase job satisfaction and motivation. Perceived organizational support is closely related to both of these dimensions. It can reduce dissatisfaction through fair treatment, while at the same time enhancing motivations by providing recognitions and supportive practices. For the research methodology, this study adopted a quantitative cross-sectional survey design, which means we collected numerical data at one specific point in time. Our sample consisted of 251 retail employees working at three major shopping centres in Kuala Lumpur, namely My Town, Sunway Velocity, and Eco Ceras Mall. This selection gave us a good representations of the retail workforce in the city. Data was collected through a structured 13-item questionnaire that used a 5-point Likert scale ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree. The questionnaire was distributed online using Google Form, and we ensured that participant was completely voluntary and confidential. For the analysis, we use SPSS versions 18. We applied descriptive statistics to summarize the data, Cronbach alpha to test the reliability of our measurement item, and Pearson correlations analysis to examine the relationship between perceived organizational support and employee motivation. Looking at the demographic of our respondent, we can say that nearly 68.5% were between 18 and 34 years old. This clearly reflects the youth-driven nature of Malaysia retail sectors. In terms of job roles, the majority were sales associate and cashier, making up 43%, followed by supervisor, warehouse staff, and store managers. Overall, this profile highlights a young workforce that is largely responsible for frontline customer demand in the retail industry. Our finding revealed three important results. First, employee motivation score an average 3.94 out of 5, which indicates that overall retail employees in Kuala Lumpur are fairly motivated in their works. Second, perceived organizational support scored 3.82 out of 5. This suggests that while employees do feel supported by their organization, there is still room for improvement. Most importantly, Declarations coefficients was 0.611 with p less than 0.01. They show a strong and statistically significant positive relationship between perceived organizational support and employee motivation. In other words, the more support employee feel from their organizations, the more motivated they tends to be. In addition, both construct demonstrated excellent reliability with Cronbach alpha value of 0.940 for POS and 0.880 for motivations. These values are well above the accepted threshold, confirming that our measurement tools were consistent and reliable. This finding carries several meaningful implications. First, for return manager, it is important to build systems that allow regular feedback, employee recognitions, and empathic leaderships. By doing so, managers can directly strengthen employees' sense of support and belonging. Second, for HR professional, the recommendation is to provide structured support. This includes opportunity for training, career development, and wellness program. Such initiate notes only build employee skills but also show that the organizations value their growth and well-being. Finally, for organization as a whole, there is a need for foster of support as a competitive advantage. In today's highly competitive environment, this culture will become a key differentiator that can set companies apart. Taken this initiative can enhance motivations, reduce turnover, and ultimately improve service quality in Malaysia retail industry. To conclude, our study confirmed a significant positive relationship between perceived organizational support and employee motivation. This finding also reinforces both two factors theory, showing that when employee feels supported, it is not only reduce dissatisfactions but also strengthen their motivation. The practical measure is clear. Organizations that invest in employee support will benefit from higher motivations, lower turnover, and stronger service performance. In today's competitive retail sectors, this support can be a powerful advantage. Looking ahead, we suggest that future research should conduct longitudinal studies to examine how this relationship change over time. It should also adopt mixed method approaches that combine survey data with interview for deeper insight. Finally, future research can explore cross-cultural comparison to see whether these findings hold true in different countries and contexts. That's all, and thank you very much for your kind attention.